we go. Good morning, everyone. Let's take a moment, get comfortable, settle in, plant your feet on the ground, however you're comfortable. Let's take that deep breath. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to begin to return back into the room. Knowing that this short journey you've been on this morning brings you back to this point. And when you're ready, open your eyes and be one with us. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I had to say it's May 5th. All right.
Okay.
God is my source. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn from all the ways I've fallen.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing.
Let me share the good that's overflowing.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder.
Let me talk just a day a little kinder.
Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder.
Let me talk each day a little kinder.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, y'all. How is everybody? Woo! So I have to make a confession. What did you say? Yes, I do. Yes, absolutely. So here's my confession. I drove to work today, I drove here today thinking it was the end of the month. I thought it was the end of the month, even though I prepared my talk and I know it's the top of the month. And I was driving here, I called my mom, I'm like, hey, what are you doing on your off day? What's going on? She's like, I'm getting dressed. Why are you calling me? Because she was getting dressed for her Sunday service. And I thought that she was off and it was the end of the month and I was just coming in. Even though I sat yesterday with my talk that said May 5th, Dance with Grief. So I don't know what is going on, but I made it here this morning, so that's a good thing. So for those of you who don't know, as I've started this whole monologue, I am Reverend Cheryl McCreary. Welcome, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living San Jose. I'm your senior minister. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm glad to see you here. And I'm glad it's the beginning of the month. I like that. I love it. It's Sunday. Who is that? Larry, thank you. It's a pop quiz. It's Sunday, May 5th. I know what day it is. All right, so let's get started with our service, shall we? So I want to thank Les Lindup for doing the meditation. There you are, Les. Thank you so much for doing the meditation this morning, our practitioner, Les Lindup. We also have in service today Patrick Lynch, practitioner, who will come on up now, Patrick, to do the call to service and the invocation. And we have Reverend Maureen Ross, who spoke last week, who was so delightful and wonderful. She will be doing the high watch, and she's back there in the prayer chapel. Okay, Patrick. There you go.
As we tap into the sound of the bell, to our feet on the floor, we step into this place to feel the presence of the Divine One that is with us always, that is close, that is present, that runs our lives, that is the creative spirit within us, that leads us forth to produce beauty, joy, sadness, and everything in between. And in this time and place, I know that I am part of that divine spirit, just as each person here who hears the sound of my voice is part of that spirit. And I am grateful for all the things that I am aware of that this spirit brings into my life that I get to participate in. And I give thanks for this, knowing that everything is whole, perfect, and complete, whether or not I like it. And so it is.
Good morning. Well, we have a very special guest here with us today. She is a DEI. I don't know what that stands for. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. I should know that, shouldn't I? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, and leadership coach and facilitator. She is a singer, songwriter, and the co-founder of the musical After the Rainbow. That sounds good. She's coached leaders, teams, and individuals through both operational and social, emotional aspects of creating truly inclusive cultures. As a songwriter and performer, her transformational songs and gatherings have supported thousands of listeners to remember their power, agency, and light. Please help me welcome Amy McLean.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be with you. I wanted to say one thing about this song. It's called Come Back Into the Light. Do you ever have those moments where you're not in the light? Good, I'm not the only one. Sometimes these songs just come to me, they're like, tch. And that's what this one was like, get back into the light. So I hope you enjoy it. Sun rises, you wake to find another day. Another chance to take your place. Call out to the stars as they fade away. Don't know what you think they're gonna say, but can you feel your way to this moment? Can you see because you know it's in there somewhere. Somewhere. Still waiting, mistaken fear for something more. Like you don't know what's coming next. Sometimes the hardest is the first step out the door. You know it's true, and you know you. But can you feel your way through, and can you feed the seed of something new? Because you know if you come back into the light, don't sit there hiding from your life. Come back into the light. Nothing changes, wondering why. I'll come back into the light. The time is now for you to decide to come back into the light. You're stumbling on the path, but look how far you've come. If you turn around, you might believe. Out of the bleakest moments, you have mined the gold, and now it's time again not to leave. It's time to feel your way back into the light. Don't sit there hiding from your life. Come back into the light. Nothing changes, wondering why. I'll come back into the light. The time is now for change your mind. Don't sit there playing out this lie. Don't lose your way. Don't fall behind. You're called here by the great divine. Can you remember? Oh, can you come back into the light? Don't sit there hiding from your life. Come back into the light. Nothing changes, wondering why. I'll come back into the light. The time is now for you to decide to come back into the light. 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 Come back into the light.
Hello. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you, thank you. Is this your first time here? Oh, good. Well, welcome. It's great to have you here. And we also have a whole band that is backing Amy up, including our praise team. We have Elizabeth Jade, Gretchen Vogel, and TJ Paganini. And then we also have our house band, which is Dave Bick Marishak on the guitar, Dwayne Pate on the bass guitar, and Billy Johnson on the drums. My name is Reverend Jeff Hargis, and I'm your assistant minister. And leading this whole thing, can I say you're kind of hiding behind the piano? So leading this whole thing is Valerie Joy Fidmont. Please give her a round of applause. Did I mention this is my second time hosting? So is that a good excuse anymore? Thank you. So my name is Reverend Jeff. I'm the assistant minister here, and I would love to invite you all to stand up together as we speak our statement of being. We believe that life is good, that God is all there is, and that love is the only power. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family, bringing the gifts of active compassion and kindness to the world. Our purpose is to transform lives, build dreams, and reveal God through education, music, prayer, service, generosity, and play. All right, well, while you're already standing, meet and greet each other. Hi. Okay. Okay. Well, we have some, listen, folks, you know, in the past, our announcements are like a page and a half long. Today, they're like a quarter of the page. Yes, so we have got a few things happening. First off, the bakery is open. We love having Bonnie back, so please take advantage of all the food and goodies that are laid out for us. And then also, we have, as you know, the bidding we stopped the bidding last week, I think. And we have a recap to all that has happened. And somewhere around here is David. There he is. Come on up, David.
You did not.
I did not.
Good morning. So, for a change, I'm not here to harangue you about hosting an event or bidding on an event. I'm here to thank you to everybody that helped do things. So, we had people host things singly. We had people host things in couples and in small groups. So we had about 40-ish folks actually chose to put on an event for our community. So thank you very much to all our wonderful hosts. We had about 70 or 80 winners of different events that are going to be attending one of the 200 plus slots available for events. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for bidding. So big thank you to all of our participants there. All that wound up raising us $11,675 for you. So that's amazing, and that's wonderful, and thank you all for participating and playing. I know you're going to have a fabulous time. And I'd also like to give a quick shout out to the volunteers that helped me on the back end of this, starting with Laura Chasmar. Thank you so much. Nisa Eubanks, Nisa's in Vegas. Hi, Nisa. Our board chair, Julie Moss. And from Texas, Barb Valdez. So thank you all for helping out. And thank you so much for your participation. If anybody has questions, come see me or email gourmets4God at cslsj.org, and I'll get your questions answered. Thanks so much.
David Field, thank you so much. And can we just get a big round of applause for David Field, please, for putting this all together? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay.
Have you ever gone to one of those metaphysical stores that has great crystals and the things like that?
Yes.
You know what we have right here?
Yes.
We have this amazing display that Jennifer Bick has put together.
Incredible.
They're called our Spring Boutique Sunday, and it is supporting our youth and family. And there are a lot of amazing things there.
There are a lot of amazing things. I bought 4 things just going to the restroom. From my office to the restroom, I made 4 purchases in motion. It's incredible. So there are sun catchers, there are necklaces, there's all kinds of jewelry that's incredibly handmade and beautiful. There are, I think I saw candles, there are journals, all kinds of stuff. So the Spring Boutique is right out here in Fellowship Hall. And if you don't get there, I'm going to buy up everything. So you better get. So make a purchase. It supports our youth and family, and legitimately, the items are just gorgeous, and many of them handmade. So I encourage you to support our beloved artists in the community and our youth and family.
We have our annual membership meeting that is coming up Sunday, May 19th after service, and this is we will get you updated on the state of our center, and I'm sure Reverend Rochelle is going to speak to laying out our future. And we're going to have some lunch as well. And one of the things that I wanted to make point to is you can go online to RSVP, but you can also go to our concierge. There's a little QR code there, and you can RSVP that way as well.
Yes, we need you to RSVP so we know how much lunch to order. So please do that. Okay, and the last thing I want to say is one of the things we'll be covering in the annual member meeting is our new nominees to join the Board of Trustees. So those nominees, and if you're here, please go ahead and stand up. Our nominees are David Field, our practitioner David Field, Joni Quintal, and Sindhu Srivastava. So those are the folks who will be showing up, and you will be... Oh, there she is. Oh, Sindhu. Welcome, Sindhu. Perfect timing. Okay, so last thing, I almost forgot. Guess what this is? Yes, it's the Science of Mind magazine. And let me tell you, it is an incredible magazine that has articles, New Thought articles, articles by New Thought writers, religious science topics and principles. It has an incredible daily guide of affirmations, meditations. It's a great way to start your day off, and it's right now for sale in our bookstore. So please grab your Science of Mind magazine. And this is for the month of, it's May and June. So here's one cover, and then here's the other cover. So grab one in the bookstore.
That's it.
Okay, have a great service.
All right, so anybody else ever feel fear? How about that one? Okay, and I think since the theme is grief for the month, sometimes it's hard to step into grief. Like I feel sometimes I'm going to dissolve into it fully. And there's a place where prayer can orient you. And that's what this song is about, to shed the fear and stay with the prayer. Okay. Bring me your prayer. It's an arrow from the heart, and it flies through the air to the stars, where they will take you in and show you your part, and you'll know deep in your soul who you are. Come to the fire and tell me your fears are we can get clear. You will take care of it, and it will take care of you. And you'll know deep in your soul what to do. You will be unafraid to face anything, 'cause you're opening to the mystery, and she's teaching you the way, so you can be unafraid. Open your heart when you feel out of sorts, and look for the way to the truth. It's not the explanation that you might have thought you knew, but you'll dig deep in your soul to the root, so you can be unafraid to face every day, 'cause you're opening to the mystery, and she's teaching you the way, so you can be unafraid. And all that this is a reflection for you. Nothing is wrong, and there is nothing to do, but acknowledge that this learning is allowing you to move past the pain of the win and the lose, so you can be unafraid to face everything, 'cause we're opening to the mystery and receiving the way we can be unafraid to hear what another has to say, 'cause we're all just one of us anyway. There's no need to separate. We can be unafraid. I am unafraid. Thank you.
Amy, thank you so much. So beautiful. Didn't our praise team and our band and Amy and Valerie Joy, didn't they just do a beautiful job with that song? So beautiful. So it's the beginning of a new month, so I'm told. Some people told me. And it's May. Can you believe we're 5 months into the year? My goodness. So the theme this month is grief and loss. Grief and loss. We are coming out of a a loss in our community of our beloved Reverend Franklin Prevett, who transitioned a few weeks ago. And we are still rattled and still raw and still just walking through that loss in our community. So I thought it was fitting to have our theme this month be grief and loss. And, here's the interesting thing. As I was thinking about this as a theme, I feel like collectively, our world, as human beings, we've not really grieved or mourned or had a ritual to express grief around the pandemic. Right? There's been no sort of ritual aspect of how do we collectively grieve and mourn our loss. Not only the loss of life, but the loss of our way of life, right? And the loss of the way things used to be, in a way, a loss of our innocence in many ways. And so I just was struck by, oh my gosh, this massive thing happened. And so collectively, we haven't really looked at that. And so as a community, maybe we can begin to do that, right? Because one thing we know for sure, we're not going back. Sometimes I hear people say, well, we'll go back to pre-pandemic levels, go back to the way it was, and that's over. There is no going back. Life has been changed forever, and our center has been changed forever. Churches have changed forever. We're all trying to figure out now, what is this new life, this new way? And it's not all bad, it's delightful, it's a challenge. It is filled with love and possibility and curiosity and energy, and there's still that grief. All of that lives together, right? All of that lives together. So let's talk about it. Today's talk title is Dance with Grief. Dance with Grief. So grief is an emotional response to loss, right? Such as the death of a loved one or a divorce or other significant loss, the loss of a dream, right? The loss of innocence, the loss of a pet, the loss of something we loved and valued, something we poured into, the loss of a job, the loss of a career, the loss of our identity in some way, right? So grief is an emotional response to that. And the beautiful thing about grief is that just like we are each unique expressions of the one, and we express in a multitude of ways, grief is different for everyone. For everyone, it's different. And so frequently in our humanness, we want to make everything the same, right? We want to have these linear processes where this is the way grief happens, right? This is how long you should grieve. And that's not what it is. Grief is a powerful emotional response, a human response, a divine expression that uniquely expresses through each of us as we respond to losing that which we love. And it looks different for all of us. Some common reactions to grief are numbness and disbelief, and I have a little list here, but here's some common reactions, so see if any of this resonates for you. Numbness and disbelief, anxiety and distress, depression, memory lapses, confusion, distraction, preoccupation, irritability, not able to concentrate, extreme anger, or feelings of despair, feeling just resigned to whatever it is, whatever that loss is. Those are some common ways that grief expresses itself, shows up in our lives, shows up in our behavior, shows up in our relationships and our interactions. And so there's no universal stages to grief and no ways it should look and no amount of time it should take. It is what it is, right? And for many, many of us, we will be grieving forever. There's some losses that you have that you are always in grief and you're just dancing with it differently at different points in time. But that grief is always there because you loved that person or whatever it is, you loved it so much. You poured so much love into that when there's a loss, you don't get over it. You figure out how to dance with it. right? And so frequently we want to get over. Are y'all with me? It's real quiet. Yeah, okay. And so there's different kinds of grief, and there are lots of them. Google is amazing. So, I won't go into all of them because it's like, wow, like who knew there was this much? It's like the menu at the Cheesecake Factory, it's like, my God, who knew? But I'll just name a few, right? Because this was surprising to me as I was delving more into this topic. So there's anticipatory grief, which is the feeling of grief before the loss occurs. So that may occur as you are walking through a divorce or some kind of shift, walking through the shutting down of a business, as you're walking through a loved one who is transitioning and they're ill for some time. So there's anticipatory grief where you know it's coming. You know it's coming and you're beginning to grieve beforehand. There's delayed grief. There's grief where feelings and emotions and the expression of grief is delayed. Perhaps there's no reaction at the initial loss, and there's no reaction at the memorial service, and there's no reaction, no emotional reaction, and then all of a sudden those emotions come pouring forward, right? They come expressing in some way. There's usually something that triggers that to happen. There's cumulative grief. And that's when you have compounded grief where multiple things have happened. And it's so frequent, especially as a practitioner for a long time I've been, and a minister. I hear so many stories of where someone's lost, their mother or father, and then they get a divorce, and then their job, like these compounding things happen, right? And part of the superstition is that, bad news comes in threes or something like that, right? But I've seen that so frequently where someone has a loss and then there's other losses. It becomes a compounded loss, right? And so all of this these are the types of grief and the things that we experience. So one of the things I discovered as I was preparing for this is I realized that I am in grief and I did not know it. I realized that I am in grief and I did not know it because I didn't feel or don't feel particularly sad or all the ways that I was thinking that grief should show up. And so as I've been sitting with this, and many times here's what happens, when there's a loss or you experience grief in one situation, it becomes a trigger that unlocks the door for other things, right? Other ways that we've grieved or not grieved in our lives. And for me, walking through Reverend Franklin's transition was such an incredibly beautiful and powerful experience to be with him, and an honor. And I had the same experience with my grandmother. It was just an honor to be there as they transitioned. And in the grief of that experience, I also discovered that there's a lot of grief that I have not recognized. It's just been delayed. And so I was thinking about okay, what is going on here? And so it occurred to me that, during the pandemic, I was an executive coach. I had my own company. I had lots of corporate clients. And so when the pandemic hit, I immediately went into take care of everyone else mode because that was my job, and it is also my nature. And so I took care of my clients. I made sure they're ready to transition online. I created training programs for my corporate clients to get them ready to use Zoom and to be able to communicate effectively and run online meetings. So I designed these training programs and I delivered them to all my clients, and different organizations purchased it. And so I was very busy with that. And then I was helping and assisting and consulting with churches who were trying to move online, and the ministers needed help or coaching with either getting online or just delivering their talks online. So I was working with 3 or 4 different centers, helping them get set to go. I was in ministerial school, and I was on the board of CSL, of Global CSL, as we were navigating through the pandemic. And when I look back, I realized I was taking care of everyone else, but I wasn't taking care of myself. I was on automatic pilot, right? Not really feeling my feelings of, the lockdown, the shutdown. And I traveled a lot for work, so I would travel almost every week, every other week. So not being able to do that, looking at my business change dramatically, and not being in contact with people. And I didn't really process all of that. And then I interviewed here, and the next thing I knew, I was flying back and forth. I got hired, and I was flying back and forth delivering talks and being the senior minister, and just jumping into this beloved community. And I didn't grieve the life I left and what I walked away from very, very quickly. And I want you to hear what I'm saying here. I love it here. I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm here because of you in these seats. And I love it. I was called here. And I did not grieve what I left. I just kept charging ahead. And so what has happened is this month is as much for me as it is for all of us, to really look at the ways we have skipped over our grief. We've not dealt with that which we've lost. And we've not really processed our emotions around it. We've not really danced with it. We've just, put it on a shelf, put it in a box, and then just keep moving our lives forward. And here's the thing about grief. It will have its way, right? It's going to have its way. You cannot escape it. It will manifest in some way, either in some kind of, dis-ease within the body, perhaps, right? Or some other way that it will show up in your world if you are not processing it. And so for me, I'm so grateful to Reverend Franklin for giving me that gift as a minister, that I have to take care of myself, and that I'm here to serve, and I have to be awake to myself, right? And I think that's something for all of us, especially if you're someone who's an empath or someone who's in a service role, right? And that's what you're used to doing. We have to take care of ourselves first. And so as I've been going through my own process, which I'm sharing with you, as I'm looking at why am I not present to how I'm really feeling or what I'm experiencing, right? Why am I not present to that? And I've been really looking at why am I asleep to that? And it was really beautiful in my office before the service. Practitioners and I meet and we talk about the theme. And one of the practitioners was sharing that the ways that we're taught to deal with grief and deal with emotions. Typically, we're taught to, ignore it. Be strong, right? Be strong, stiff upper lip, right? Don't show it. Don't show weakness. Beating yourself up about where you are in your process. And so these are some of the things we do to ourselves when we're in grief. So we even compound our own grief by beating ourselves up or by saying we're not strong if we are feeling vulnerable, or we're not strong if we are feeling sad, or we're not strong if we are needing rest, right? And I think for me that is a lot of programming, right? Anybody else can relate to this? Yes, beautiful. And so I invite us into this month and this week to really dance with grief, And so there's 3 major steps I want to talk about today. So one is, it's really important to stay present to your feelings, right? And so frequently we want to turn away from our feelings, deny them, numb them with, my Netflix is like one of my favorites. Netflix, shopping, but whatever it is, it may be wine for you, it may be sex for you, it may be whatever it is, right? The ways that we numb ourselves to how we are feeling. And so the first step in that dance with grief is, we got to be present to how we're feeling. We have to be present to ourselves. We have to be present to our heart and our heartbreak and our heartache. And really be present to that and not run away from it and bring awareness to it and just think about, how am I feeling right now? Right? And what do I need right now? What do I need right now to comfort myself? Truly, capital T, truly. Pema Trojan says in the book, When Things Fall Apart, Heart Advice for Difficult Times, Pema says, to stay with the shakiness, to stay with a broken heart, with a rumbling stomach, with the feeling of hopelessness and wanting to get revenge, that is the path of true awakening. Sticking with that uncertainty, getting the knack of relaxing in the midst of chaos, learning not to panic, this is the spiritual path. Getting the knack of catching ourselves, of gently and compassionately catching ourselves, is the path of the warrior. Right? The path of the warrior. So gently and compassionately catching ourselves and being okay in the chaos and the uncertainty and the feelings is the path of the spiritual warrior. And I think that's such a beautiful quote. And in dance, right, if we're talking about dancing with grief and loss, in dance you have to be present. If you're dancing with a partner, if there's music, right, there's a way that you have to be present to dance and to be in the dance. So I invite you now to step into being really present to how you are feeling. And think about some losses that you have had. Again, whether it's an individual or a person, whether it is a job, whether it is you're now an empty nester, right? So your identity has shifted. So think about losses that you've had, and maybe the pandemic, right? From 2020 to now, to just think about how you're feeling, being present to that. The second step is surrender to the feelings. Surrender to the feelings. Now, so frequently we think about surrender and we think, oh, that means I got to give up, right? Or I don't have any power, right? I'm just going to give up, or I'm just going to let myself fall apart. And that is not what surrender is all about. Surrender is about knowing that there is a power and a presence and a love that is greater than anything we could possibly imagine, and that power and that presence and that love birthed us out of itself, and it knows how to take care of us, and it knows exactly what we need. It knows how to orchestrate our care. It knows how to orchestrate our support. And so when we surrender, what we're saying is, there's something greater than me that knows what to do. I take my hands off the wheel, right? Wait, what is the song? Jesus, take the wheel? Yeah, right? Right? Take my hands off of it, because there's something greater than me that knows exactly what to do. And so I invite you into this place of surrender, right? Surrender is also an act of affirming wholeness, because what you're saying is, when you surrender, is not only is there something greater than me, that that created me whole. So I am whole. Even though I may not feel like it, even though I may be struggling, I may be wondering, I may be questioning, I may be in sadness, I am still whole underneath all of that. And so what surrender does is it affirms that wholeness. Because you're not trying to get whole, you are whole. So you're trying to release whatever's making you not recognize the wholeness that's already there. Are y'all following this? Yeah. So this is the second step, is to surrender, right? And surrender also has this quality of making peace with what is. There's an element of making peace with it. Because frequently we're in resistance, we don't even know it, because it doesn't seem negative, right? It doesn't seem like we're in resistance, right? And really, it's resistance. It's sort of like being passive-aggressive. You know, passive-aggressive doesn't seem like aggression, but it's aggression, right? It doesn't seem like resistance because everything seems very nice, but it's actual resistance. And so in surrendering, what we're doing is we're just making peace with whatever. with the loss, with the pain, with the despair, with the love, with the joy, with the broken heart, with the healing heart. Right? We're just making peace with it, letting our weapons dissolve, and letting God show up, letting love rush in. Because the beautiful thing about grief is the extent of our grief, the depth of our grief. The depth of our grief is correlated to the depth of our loving. Right? When we love something, when we love someone so deeply and profoundly and completely, we are going to be in spectacular grief when we have loss, when we lose that individual, or we lose that, whatever it is. So our grief is a reflection of how much we loved. So it's something to be present to surrender to. The third step, and this is a beautiful step in dancing, and that is to flow with the feeling, whatever those feelings are, just to flow, right? Just to flow with it. Grief is not a defined state. It's not an end state. It's not like you grieve and then you're done. It goes on and on. It shows up in different ways. Right? Sometimes it's fast. Sometimes it's intense. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it's gentle. Sometimes it's all of the above. And it can change moment to moment to moment to moment. And so the more that you are able to just flow with the feeling, to just ride the wave, just like you would in a dance, right? When you're in a great dance with a partner or by yourself and you just feel the music and you allow the music to take over you and you just go with it, it's such a beautiful feeling. And so allowing that to happen with grief, and don't put a time limit on it. Don't put how it should look on it. Just allowing yourself to go with the feeling, to flow with the feeling, and to just ride that wave. You know, when we do that, there is beauty in even the painful things, right? There's exquisite beauty in heartbreak. There's exquisite beauty in how we grieve and mourn. There's exquisite beauty in loving someone so much, or loving something, or loving our way of life so much, and allowing ourselves just to feel that and to weep for that. The other thing that happens on the other side when we flow with the feelings is that's where the learning comes. That's where the lessons come. That's where the voice of God whispers. That's where our higher self, whatever you want to call it, whispers in our ear. We understand more. We're transformed. We're lifted. We see things in a new way. We're strengthened spiritually. In all of this dance has got to happen within the container of support, right? This does not happen on its own. This does not happen fully in isolation. So as always, I encourage you in this beautiful dance, in this dance with grief, to make sure that you are fully supported. So you got to have your practitioner or someone who is there to see the absolute truth for you and hold it. And have your therapist, if that is what is needed and indicated, to help you walk through and give you some techniques and ways to deal with what you're going through. Be in a beloved community like this one or similar, where you are loved and supported, and there are people here who love you, who will see you absolutely whole, perfect, and complete, who have compassion and heart to walk with you through your grief and your loss. Right? Joining a grief group or some kind of support group is the same thing, right? The point I'm making is you want to do this dance with a container, within a container of support. This is not something you isolate fully and do by yourself. That's why we're here, is to love each other up, to support each other, to hold each other. That's why we're here. So how many people feel like there's a dance with grief that they may need to be doing? Yes, yes. So I encourage you this week and after this week to implement these things I'm talking about, right? Because that is how healing truly happens, and that is how we become the places and spaces that transform our world. It starts with each of us. So can we do this? Yes. Okay. Let's turn within. And so take a deep breath with me, y'all. And so as I breathe, I simply recognize the divine presence that is love, that is love, that is love, that is love. This love that is everywhere. This love that expresses through and as all things, that this love that breathes us, that beats the hearts of each one, that circles and circulates through the veins. Oh, I'm so grateful to know this presence, to feel it, to sense it, and to stand in full acknowledgement of the all that is. And whether we call it God or the creator or source or love, it is what it is. It is all that there is. It created all things out of itself, including me, including each one gathered here. And so I just know then that the presence of love is in this place and in this space. The presence of love transforming each individual. As I stand here, I speak the word with complete authority, knowing that love is radiant in every molecule of being for each one. I claim and know for each one in this service, love is radiant in the cells. Love is radiant in the molecules. Love is radiant in the atomic structure of the body. The love is radiant in the organs and the tissues and the functions of the body temple. I claim total vitality and health and healing right now for each one. I know that love is radiant in the emotional body, coursing through the emotions, coursing through the feelings, coursing through the physiology of the body. I claim it. I claim and know that love is radiant in the mental body and the thoughts, the ideas, the stories we tell ourselves are now love stories. Love stories. Love stories. Love stories. Oh, I'm so grateful to speak the word this morning. I claim a healing and a rising up right here and everywhere. Right here and everywhere. And as we dance this dance of grief, it is a dance of love. It is a dance of love and of wholeness and healing. And so I know that every heart that is feeling tender is right now comforted by the words spoken, and that truly all is indeed well. And so with gratefulness, with gratitude, I release this word, I let it be. And we say together, and so it is, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Rochelle. Yeah, this is going to be a powerful month, I can already tell. And so I am going to invite us into that place of practice together as we practice the circulation of our abundance, as we practice the good that is in our life with our offerings. And we do this to support this center in all ways through all of the programming that we have, the classes, the workshops, the support groups, all of it that is inviting us into a place of healing and joy together. So please read with me this giving affirmation. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless
and prosper. It is evidence of
in
my faith and my belief.
It is great work in the world,
and it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need.
Joy.
Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Thank you, praise team, for letting me sing with you. Thank you, band. Thank you, Valerie Joy. Beautiful. All right, so who's here for the first time? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who's here for the Hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So nice to meet you and see you here. After the service, there's some delicious baked treats out there, so be sure to grab yourself some food. There's a sale, a boutique. There's a concierge desk where you can get information, and be sure to say hello to me. And if there's anyone else out there who's here for the first time but didn't want to stand up, all those things apply to you too, so do that too. All right, we have youth and family on their way down, and while they're making their way to the front, I will ask the practitioners to come down. Folks, I want you to know the people that you see here with purple stoles are practitioners. They are the ecclesiastical arm of the center. I need a, okay, if you'll stand and do that for me, please. So they're the ecclesiastical arm of the center, which means that they are licensed professionals to pray with you, to do workshops, teach, counsel. If you need prayer today, someone will pray for you, pray with you there in the back. It's called the chapel. I thought there was somebody back there. So a practitioner can meet you back there, and they will offer prayer. So do not leave with a heavy heart. Okay, Jennifer. Hello. Oh, sorry.
Someone turned it off. No, your brother did not. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm the Director of Youth and Family, and I wanted to acknowledge our volunteers. We had Linda with the littles, Laura with the middles, and Chris Grayson with the teens. And we have up here Max, who's going to tell us what they were learning about today.
So today we were learning about directions and compasses. So like if you know like where the ocean is, you basically know a compass. And also Also, knowing is like amazing. Like if you know like a compass, like an inner compass. If you know a compass, you know like where to go and everything, and you know what to do.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. Okay, so I invite everyone to stand as we do, what's the new order? We do,
Yes.
we do this and then the song?
Then song.
Or song and affirmation?
Affirmation, then song.
Okay. Okay, so let's do this, y'all. We're going to do the final song, and then we'll do our benediction. And go.
Release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Okay, please repeat after me. I am present to my feelings. I surrender to my wholeness. And I flow with my life. And so it is.